So if you know a little bit about the Bible, you know that in 456 BC, there was a decree given by Artaxerxes to rebuild the temple. That's 456 BC. That's a very popular subject amongst Bible studiers, I guess you could say. Now, the amazing pattern is this, is that if you go from 1492, when Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue and came to the Americas, all the way to 1948, which is the year that Israel, quotations, became a nation, I guess you could say. The amount of years from 1492 to 1948 is 456. That's amazing. Now the number 456, here it is, even more. The number 456 in the Strong's Concordance Greek means to rebuild. This is thousands of years ago, which is matching up with the pattern from Christopher Columbus and the so-called Israel and this whole idea of rebuilding the temple. I mean, this is crazy. Let me explain it again. 456 BC, Artaxerxes declares the temple to be rebuilt. 456. From 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue, came to Americas, to 1948, which is the year that Israel became a nation, is 456 years. 456. 456. The number 456 in the Strong's Concordance Greek is to rebuild. You have a pattern matching up to what people are doing from around 2,500 years ago. Okay, now we're going to be using the number 538 instead of 456. 538. The way we get that is if you go to 538 BC, this is when the Jews were freed. 538 was when the Jews were freed. BC. Now, if you start from Christopher Columbus, 1492, and you go 538 years forward, you come to 2030. Agenda 2030. That's where it's at. And the number 538 in the Strong's Concordance is to deceive. So from 1492 to 538 later, it's 2030. We are at the end. This is confirmation. We are at the end 100%. Now, one last piece to this pattern is that on the 538, now we know that the 538 BC was when the Jews are freed, and from 1492 to 2030 is 538. Jews freed again, right? But check this out. If you go from 538 BC all the way to 1492, you get 2,030 years. 2030 again. That is crazy. That's crazy town. Do you realize what I just said? The Dome on the Rock over here. Okay? And the Dome on the Rock, what is that? That is something that is very important. It's something that is worldwide known. And what it is that was a rock on the floor, is that the Muslims put a dome on the rock at a Jewish site. And it's a very big controversial thing. It's huge. That thing is huge. Now, when you look it up, it will say that it was done from 688 to 691 AD. Okay? Now, the interesting thing is if you go 1,335 years. Now, where do I get that? From Daniel 12. He said, "Blessed is he who comes to the 1,335 days." But if you turn that days into years from the Dome of the Rock, you come to 2023 to 2026 AD. The farthest you can go is 2026 AD. That is no coincidence. That is amazing. That is a supernatural miracle in itself. Whoever put that there, that Dome on the Rock, knew exactly what they were doing. And I mean, it had to have been supernaturally inspired to do it at that time. To be able to count 1,335 days like in 1,335 years like in Daniel 12, and then come to right now. I mean, that's an amazing miracle. The end of time here until Jacob's trouble starts. And that we're not here for that. That's 3.5 years. Now we're going to take a look at a pattern that I showed before, which is Jesus started his ministry in 26 AD. Okay, and if you go 40 jubilees instead of 40 days or 40 years, a jubilee is 50 years. If you go 40 jubilees in the wilderness, you come to what? 2026 AD. You see, if you turn those days that Jesus was led out into the wilderness by the Spirit and tempted by the devil, because remember, where do you get the 40? Well, you get the 40 because when Jesus was tempted by the devil in the desert, it was 40 days. So if you turn those 40 days, as soon as he started his ministry, into 40 jubilees, from 26 AD, you come to 2026 AD. That is the cut-off point, guys. No matter what, whether the rapture is in 2024, 2025, I can guarantee you, we do not go past 2026. These two patterns are proof and confirmation. It's supernatural. These things are supernatural knowledge in these patterns to see this. See, because the Bible doesn't tell you, oh, turn the 1,335 days into years and see this pattern. No, that's supernaturally inspired to see that. The Bible doesn't tell you, oh, turn the 40 days that Jesus was in the desert tempted by the devil into 40 jubilees and you see this. That's supernaturally inspired knowledge. Not only should you guys not forget those patterns that I just showed you, but don't forget what's above you every single night, the stars/angels, because they are right above you, very close. The living creatures, the spirit of the living creatures inside of the wheels within the wheels, explained exactly in Ezekiel chapter 1. They are so close and they are watching. That's why the book of Enoch calls the angels the watchers, because they are watching. And again, just to remind you guys, I filmed these with a $700 camera, a Nikon P900 Coolpix. But yet NASA has billions of dollars and they never show you anything like this. So I want to share something a little personal with you guys real quick. So the other day, and some of you guys might have done this before, but I was sitting there like, why do I do all this stuff? Why am I doing it? What is causing me to want to do this? Because it's not the money. There is no money. Except for a couple people help me out every now and then. Is it for other people? And I was like, yeah, that's it. I'm doing it for other people. And then I'm like, well, yeah, but why am I doing it? What am I getting out of it? Why am I really, really doing it? And my conclusion was, when I got the answer, that I want to know God. That's it. If there was a third best or second best answer, the second best would be I'm doing it for other people. But the first best answer that came to me was I want to know God. That's why I read, listen to other videos, make videos. It might seem a little selfish, but I think at the end of the day, that's what every saved person wants to do. At the top of the list, we want to know God. Verses came to my mind. Ephesians chapter 1, verses 17 and 18, the King James Bible. That the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him, the eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that ye may know what is the hope of his calling, and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints.